sentence completion, which is the last question type that we have to understand in reading module. You must be saying, oh, that's a long journey, right? In reading module, I understand there are around 8 to 9 types of questions and we have to understand them all, because we can't take a risk, that what if this question type comes up in exam. We have to understand all of them. Now in this question type, what's gonna happen, which is sentence completion, by the way, you will be looking at a single sentence with a blank. Before this, we have seen table completion, form completion, that is a flowchart completion, or we have seen a summary completion. None of them had single sentence and non-related single sentences with a blank. See, here we have a question number 39 and 40. The dance outside the hive points in the direction of the blank. So this is one question itself, or one blank itself. It is not connected to the next blank. And as I said, single sentence, no connection, is this type, sentence completion. The difference between this question type, that is sentence completion, and the summary completion is, in the summary completion, we have a whole summary where we have blanks in between, like this. However, in this question type, all we have is a blank in the middle or the end of the single sentence. I hope you understand the difference. Good. In fact, an example will help to make things easier. Look at this passage on the left and the question on the right. Your task is to find the answer for question number 34 or 39 and 40 using the passage on the left. In exam, you might not just find 2 to 3 questions. You'll be having at least 5 to 7 questions or blanks in this question type. This is just for us to know how this question type works. And secondly, just for practice, we only have 2. Because we only have 2 blanks, I'll not give you more than 2 minutes. And your time starts now. Great, and we are back. Now let's see the answers as well, because you've written in your notebook or anywhere in your notepad. The first one is food source. Source is in bracket. That means if you mention food, it's fine as well. Or if you mention food source, it's fine. Okay. Number 40 is sun. These are the 2 answers, 39 and 40. Okay, we'll see how we found the solution, how we found the answer. But first, let's talk about the pointers or the tips and the tricks which can help you to find the answer easily. Eventually, we'll talk about the answers. The first one is definitely the instructions. We have been repeating it 10 times or maybe more than that. The reason is, without these, the instructions, you might not understand that we have number of words which are required. If in case I found the answer and I wrote incorrect number of words, I'm totally incorrect in this part. I mean in the answer, though I know where I found the answer, though I know it's correct, but examiner can't do anything in that case because you mentioned an incorrect answer. Now if you look at this one, the dance outside the hive points in the direction of the answer is here, food source. The outside dance was fairly easy to decode. The straight position of the dance pointed directly to the food source. We have mentioned, or let's say the instructions are mentioned no more than 2 words, and here you mention, because they have mentioned the again, of the, again the food source. See, this one is incorrect for a reason, because it's not 3 words anymore. It's not 2 words, it's 3 words. So totally incorrect. What if we just write food? It's correct because they have mentioned no more than 2 words. They have not mentioned exactly 2 words, right? If you write 1 word or 2 words, totally fine with it. Okay, good. The second one is the verb method. We have explained this. We need verb method to remember the blanks or to remember the statement which contains the blank. Why do we need this? I think we have explained earlier that when we have a reading question type or reading exam, the biggest time waster actually is moving from one page to another page. So this is one page to another page. What we generally do is we have a question on another page and the passage on another page. Like we see here, these are the questions right below, 34, 39 and 40, and here we have passage. Now we have provided this information, or you have taken this information on a screen. There's a split in the screen, hence you can look at it directly. But in exam, what's going to happen is the questions will be on page, let's say 3, and the passage is on page 2. What can you do in this case? You're going to read the question and jump to the passage immediately and try to find the answer. You might remember some part of the blank and try to connect with the answer, but you're not sure yet because you don't remember the statement. You go back to the question and try to find the blank again, or try to understand the blank, and again go back to the passage. Again read that part. You read things twice or thrice uselessly. What if you could remember the blank and just understand it clearly by the method called verb method, and go once in the passage and find the answer and come back? Sounds fun, right? You save 30 to 40 seconds per question. If 30 to 40 seconds are saved, you can imagine what's going to happen in the case of almost 40 questions. How much time will you save? A lot. And that's why I've seen people following this method have finished their exam in 35 minutes, even 40 minutes rather than 60 minutes. Okay, so let's see what this method does and how do we solve it. So eliminating the things which are not required here and even the instructions, let's zoom in here. The dance outside the hive points in the direction of the blank. Verb method says that you have to figure out in the sentence what is the verb. For our sentence, that is 39th points is the verb. True? You have to create a sentence by yourself. What points towards what? Right? By understanding or creating these questions, you will be able to remember by answering these questions to yourself. You have to just remember the word points. So the dance outside the hive points in the direction of something. What points towards what? You have to remember just this much. You go back to the passage, you look for something points towards something. That means the dance outside the hive points towards the direction of something. Looking at the next one, The angle of the dance from the vertical shows the angle of the floor of the foot from the blank. You see, shows is the verb here, which we have to take care. What shows what, or in what angle? So the angle of the dance from the vertical is one subject in a kind of structure. This is a whole subject, and we have the verb, and then we have the object. Subject shows the object. The angle of the dance from the vertical shows the angle of the foot from the blank. See how easy it gets. I know there's so much to read from this part, but if you understand that we are creating groups now. One group is the subject, that is before the verb. Second group is the object, that is after the verb. And you just create question. What shows what? Done. And you remember the whole sentence or the statement. You don't have to come back to the blank and compare with the passage. Hectic process, time wasting. In fact, remember the blank using verb method. Go back to the passage just once, find the answer, mention it here, done. So easy, right? And you save a lot of time. Cool. Now, another one which is important is predict. Not just making it short or remembering the sentence, but prediction is also required. What is the meaning of prediction? I'll show you. Let's look at the example 39. The dance outside the hive in the direction of the blank. Now, this is a direction of something. That means it has to be a noun. It has to be a thing that you are pointing in the direction of. That means that the dance outside the hive, that means something is going on outside the hive of the bees, is pointing in the direction of the something. Not somewhere, but something. That means you get the answer. Now you predicted the answer, it has to be something. Again, second one. The angle of the dance from the vertical shows the angle of the foot from the blank. So you have to search for the angle of the foot from something. Again, it is a noun. Sometimes answer is definitely a verb. Sometimes answer is definitely an adjective. By the way, if you're not familiar of these are called parts of speech, then you should go and watch the first video of the series of grammar, which is Grammar for IELTS. You will get to understand what are these things I'm talking about. Very important stuff, and things will get easier for you, not just in IELTS, but in English as well. For IELTS, for sure, they are created keeping IELTS in mind. But even if you want to know or learn English, good point to start by using the parts of speech. Okay, good. Now the first and last, what is the meaning of this first and last? First blank and the last blank are important. In this case, in the case when we have provided example, we don't have more than 2. But what if we had 25 to 30? Now we have 6. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 and 30. What if we found the first answer and the last answer? Why do we need to do that? If you find the first answer over here, let's say, I'm just guessing, okay, I'm just creating a situation. This is where you found the 25th answer. And this is where you found the 20 or 30th answer. That means all of your answers lie between this. That is 25 and 30. Sequence is always maintained. So if you found the 30th answer here, the 29th cannot be beyond it. It's not possible. If you found a 25th answer here in this area, your 26th answer cannot be here above it. It must be below it. So if there are many blanks, find the first and the last one. That means you know which area to follow. Clear? Because sequence is maintained. So this method could help you save time. All right, good. Last one, but not the least, because this is a tiny mistake people make, that is grammar and spelling. Grammar, because you can see grammatically it has to be correct. Let me give you a guess, or let me give you another point. The dance outside the hive points in the direction of the easy. If I provide the word easy here, I thought easy is the correct answer, then it doesn't make any sense grammatically. It's incorrect. What direction of easy? What? Easy something. So easy is incorrect. And because of this, I could guess that, I think I have to search again. So your answer should be grammatically correct. Second, even if I find the answer as food source, and instead of food source, though food is only correct answer, you can also add source. If I write source spelling as this, just this, no E, incorrect. Spelling mistake is also a concern for us. It will be considered 0 point. So in this case, answer is sun, S-U-N, and you write S-O-N. They know, the examiner who's checking your paper, they know that, you're right. Answer is sun, but you made a mistake in the spelling. Sorry, we cannot provide you the answer. So you lose 1 mark. That is for one question. This is gone then. Please verify your spellings, and grammar helps us. That is grammatically, if the sentence is correct, is good. If not, it helps us that this cannot be the answer. We have to go back and look for the answer in the passage again. Clear? I hope so. And with that, we end the chapter.